Hey, this is Raymond Camden again, and I am starting a new series, a new set of experiments, really, to see if I can use GenAI and Code Assist to help me update my blog. Now, this is my blog as it is now. It's a theme that I paid for. It's very pretty. I like it a lot. But I've also had it for like 4 or 5 years. And I like to change my blog really like every 2 years or so. And I was just curious if I could use Code Assist to help me at least kickstart that process. So what I'm going to do in this video series is take a couple of different tools, give them the same prompt, and just see how well they do. If they do well at all, I don't know. We'll see. I actually kind of know. I played with this a little bit already, so I have an idea what's going to happen. But uh, with that in mind, let's get started. And I am going to begin with Copilot integrated in Visual Studio Code. I have an empty folder here. By the way, all of this code and all the different versions will all be in one GitHub repository that you'll be able to look at and see very precisely what the output was. Now, for all of my experiments, I'm going to use the same prompt. And that is basically, I want to create a new theme for my blog. My blog is developer centric. My theme should consist of one main HTML file, one CS file, and minimal, if any, JavaScript. I'd even tell it that it can make an empty one that I could fill out later. The big part is no frameworks. I do not want React, Vue, anything, and no build process. I really just want HTML and CSS. Now, I like green. So one of the things that I asked for was to use a green type theme. We'll see how well it does that. I asked for it to be responsive, and I talk about how on the main page there should be a title for the blog and then 10 blogs listed in reverse order. I mentioned including the date as well. By the way, all blog posts should have dates on them. I asked for a top level menu for home, about, speaking, and subscribe, and possibly a search link or a search field. And then using that template, I want another file that's for an individual blog post. And I mentioned how it should include a date and a list of categories associated with it. So let's just see what happens. We're going to copy and paste this, drop this right into Copilot, and then have it go to work. Now, my assumption is that it's not going to be perfect, that I'm going to have to ask it, to tweak a couple of things, and we'll see what happens. We'll see how nice it looks. So this is working right now. Good opportunity for me to take a sip of water. I noticed that it made an assets folder, which, yeah, I didn't ask for that, but I typically do drop my CSS and JavaScript in a assets folder. So good job so far, Copilot. And it just made the index page, it's making the style page, and it's making a JavaScript page, and it's making a post1.html page. All right, so it looks like it's wrapping things up, I assume. Not sure what else it would do, but it's probably going to tell me what it did now that it's made the files. But we will give it, oh, it's actually making all the files as well. That's interesting because I told it to only make the post page, but that's fine. And so there we go. It's telling me what it did. And all right. And in theory, I could tell it, hey, I don't want the search, speaking, subscribe, whatever. You can get rid of them. I'm just going to ignore them. So I am going to just accept all the changes all across the board, all these files, and then we will take a look at it and see what it did. And I'm not even looking at it. Yeah, empty JavaScript file, I am fine with, and the style. Colors look okay so far. Let's go ahead and close some of these smaller pages and just focus on the index page. And I'm going to launch a quick web server from this folder. And then we are going to copy that link Nope, not paste. Let me try that again. Uh, Copy that and go into my browser here, and let's see what we got. That is not bad. It's kind of simple, although I like the colors. And that is a particular blog page. All right. I don't like the fact that there's no separation between the date and the categories, but let's break this down bit by bit. So the first thing I see that I need is I need an excerpt on these blog pages. So I'm going to say on index HTML, add an excerpt from the blog post for each of them. And anything else I see? No, actually, outside of that, it's fine. I like the kind of like hover effect on that. That's nice and simple. Yeah, literally, that's it. So let's just ask it to tweak that and see what it does. I'd be curious to see what text it uses for an excerpt. I'd be fine with lorem ipsum, but we will just see what happens. I'll make this window a little bit smaller while it's working. Don't need to see the web server. All right, so it tweaked. I could see it dropped in excerpts with the class. Did not modify the style. Do we actually have an excerpt style? We don't. I don't believe so. Be kind of funny if it already had it. It does not, but that's all right. We will take this and we're just going to keep everything, save it, and for the heck of it, let's see what it did. Reload. That's nice and basic. All right. I guess I'll take it. And so, looking at the blog post, let's actually ask it to change the date and categories. Make it just, I don't know, make it better. It's gonna be nice and vague. So can you edit post1.html to, well, definitely when I'm on separate lines. So to put the date and categories on separate lines and style them a bit. Yeah, that's horrible. I should really be a bit more precise in terms of how I want it styled, but the two separate lines is something. And you know what? While it's working on that, let's actually take a look at what it did for the about page. And speaking page. Yeah, I am a frequent speaker. Yeah, there we go. And subscribe and search. Yeah, that's decent enough. All right. So let's see how it's doing. Still thinking about it. Very curious to see what it comes up with here. I honestly did not know what I wanted outside of it being on different lines. It changed post one. Now appear with improved styling. Again, it's kind of curious how it's not actually creating post date, post category, but let's take a look and see. Oh, actually, yeah, I like that. So, like at this point, I'd probably add like published on in front of that date because it just kind of the date just kind of hangs out there. I actually like the way the tags look, and then I can make these links and so forth. And you know what? This is not bad. I feel like I could take this and kick the tires a bit more and tweak it a bit more, but the the general UI is something to work with. And if we look at that code, let's go into index.html, you know, nothing here stands out as like scary. Oh, you know what we should do? We should look at it in responsive and do that. And actually, yeah, that's okay. I'd maybe want a hamburger menu for that. But honestly, I can live with that. That's not the end of the world. Um, we could try to tweak it and say, hey, put the menu on one line, but No, I am okay with that. That's not bad. Cool. So this was kind of fun. And this was right at 10 minutes, so not long at all. And we have something to start with. So I hope you found this interesting. In the video description, I'm going to link to this repository and this particular example. And after this, I'm going to try one more and again and just see what we get. Thank you.